When even liberals are calling out an attack on Mike Pence, it's got to be bad. A satirical internet set that portrays itself as a branch of Fox News is making waves, and fooling readers, with the fake news posting that essentially accuses the vice president of condoning spousal abuse. It really doesn't get much lower than that. The website is called Fox News the FB page and uses a logo and design that mimics the fair and balanced network that liberals hate. In a posting published Sunday, the website ran a spoof news article with the headline "Pence softens stance on Porter abuse allegations." Trending, over 100 Russians dead after attack on U.S. forces, deadliest clash since Cold War. Here's one paragraph. Pence has softened his comments about Porter, saying his actions, if true, are in accordance with biblical principle and that women should submit to their husbands as their husbands are their heads, just as Jesus is head of the church. The Porter, of course, was former White House aide Rob Porter, who resigned his post under pressure last week after two former wives went public with allegations that he'd been physically and emotionally abusive toward them during their marriages. Porter denied the allegations, but White House Chief of Staff John Kelly said he wanted Porter's resignation after photos were published showing one of the women with a bruised face, according to a CNBC report. Do you trust Facebook to treat conservatives fairly? Yes, no, _continue with Facebook, or, completing this poll entitles you to Conservative Tribune news updates free of charge. You may opt out at any time. You also agree to our privacy policy in terms of use. You're logged into Facebook. Click here to log out. The story has damaged the White House, with Democrats and their allies in the media calling it an example of the Trump administration's attitude toward women. Democrat respect for women depends a great deal on the party of the man who holds the presidency. If it's a Republican aide accused of spousal abuse, there's hell to pay. If it's a Democrat president who admits using interns for sexual toys and is accused of actual rape, everything is A-OK. But the sick minds behind Fox News the FB page decided to push things even further by pulling Pence into it, under the guise of a real news story. Two things jump out about this. Related, Trump budget bloodbath devastates PBS, NPR. The first is that Pence has been a figure liberals have hated since before he became Donald Trump's running mate, since the staunchly conservative former Indiana governor makes no bones about his beliefs. But Pence has never been accused of the slightest misbehavior with women. In fact, the worst liberals could say about him is that he is too careful, in their eyes, of putting himself in what could become a compromising position. In a sane world, Pence would be known by the old-fashioned term of gentleman. In fact, Pence's real reaction to the Porter scandal was to tell reporters he was appalled by the news. There is no tolerance in this White House, no place in America for domestic abuse, he said, according to CBS. That's the kind of man the liberals at Fox News the FB page decided to make fun of, with a post that strongly implied Pence favors mistreating women, when his whole public life has been an example of exactly the opposite. The story is so outrageous, even the normally liberal fact-checking website Snopes called it out as false. But more importantly, is the role Facebook itself is playing in this kind of mockery. Fox News the FB page is a satirical site, and the American tradition is rich with political satirists making fun of politicians, sometimes cruelly, sometimes with good reason. But the appearance of this website, combined with the minuscule attention span of far too many Facebook readers, pose a real danger that fake news like this will be taken as the real thing. In fact, the story had 4.7 thousand likes and had been shared almost 19,000 times by Thursday morning. Judging by the comments on the page, many readers who liked and shared this piece of liberal propaganda had no clue the story was completely false. That's their own blind ignorance at fault, but Facebook bears a share of the blame too. Factbook has a well-deserved reputation for crushing news from truthful conservative sites, treating organizations with a non-liberal perspective like enemy aliens of the digital universe. It poses as an enemy of fake news, but apparently has no problem with a news site that not only uses an established network's name, but uses Facebook's implied imprimatur, the FB page, To seem credible, it would not be censorship for the company to stand up for the rights of its legitimate clients, like Fox News, by protecting its logo and image. It wouldn't be censorship for Facebook to stand up for itself by protecting its own FB image. A case like this is beyond satire, and beyond humor, as liberals might see it. It comes down to hypocrisy. Share this on Facebook and Twitter if you agree. Maybe Facebook will get the message. What do you think of fake news articles like this? Scroll down to comment below.